to go out. All right. Let's see what we got going on in these cards, y'all. So I'm gonna give everybody some time to come on in, let the notification go out. Happy Wednesday, guys. It is Mercury Day, Communication Day. And I think we got like Pisces and Mercury. We got Pisces and communication. So we're gonna give everybody a few minutes to come on in. Welcome everybody. 1 second. All right. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hey, Tosh. How are you? Hey, Tabitha. Hey, Nomadic Goddess. Hey, Light Within Darkness. How is this energy treating you guys? So we are going to do our 369 for this week. If you are part of the Patreon community, your 369 is already up. Okay, so you have your personal version of the 369 if you're part of the Patreon community for the week. Okay, so we're going to take a look at this energy. You will have more detail in the 369 video on Patreon. And we are going to take a look at what you guys need to know as we're moving throughout this energy. I want to say this, though. Be mindful of your perception of things. And you also want to be mindful that not everybody views and sees things the way you do, right? We currently still have Pisces in Mercury, which means that there could be a lot of illusions or maybe people definitely have their own version of the truth of this energy. So you want to be mindful about that as you're moving throughout this energy, okay? I don't know in particular if there's anything going on out there that you guys want to discuss as far as the energy is concerned. All right, but we're going to take a look at this. We're just giving it a little bit more time for people to jump on. So how are y'all doing tonight? Light Within Darkness, how are y'all doing tonight? There we go. So we are going to thank our angels. We are going to thank our angels of light. We're going to thank our ancestors. We are going to thank all of the energy that's here in the atmosphere. Really? Oh, an ascension flu? Oh, wow. I had a really bad sinus infection and I've been having a back alignment, my back realigned, which is also, you know, and when you start having stuff like that, what I've been paying attention to, Jasmine, is I've been paying attention to how energy is affecting my body. Okay, like within darkness, how energy is affecting my body. The sinus infection really allowed me to see how energy was moving through my body. So I now understand when stress comes in, and you know, whether it's a conversation, whether it's a feeling of overwhelmness, whether it's a feeling of just being upset, right? Being that sinus infection along with getting my back realigned has made me more connected to me. So yeah, I'm with you on that. So I can understand the flu ascension. I can understand that. And it also caused me to release a lot of things too, Jasmine, right? It did. Okay. So your 369 is about your memory, your imagination, your creativity. It's also about your willpower to create or destroy things and to complete things, okay? Hey, Kia, how are you, my love? I miss you. Okay, so once again, if you are part of the Patreon community, you can find your 369 reading there that goes into more details, all right? What we are going to be doing tonight is doing a general pull. and it may not resonate. Okay, so if you have not, you may want to take a look at last week's 369 poll to see if there's anything coming back over for you to maybe repeat, complete, or revise this week. Okay. Okay, so just keep that in mind. All right, so we're going to start off with your astrological positions. Now, let me explain this for anyone that's doing playback. Okay, these are timeless polls. Although I am pulling from current energy, you can be going through different placement within your own personal natal chart, right? So on Mondays, we do the astrological energy check-in. Okay, so that's where I go through the planets and I tell you what's going on, what you need to pay attention to, what you need to interact with. Okay, so if you have not watched that, you can. Okay, I'm happy to be back too, Kia. So if you have not watched the astrology check-in, you can do that. That's up, okay? And that's going to be Mondays. I go live on Mondays with that, all right? On Wednesdays is when we're going to get into the 369 on the cards, all right? Now, remember, 3 represents your imagination, your creativity, and your memory, okay? Memory is important because sometimes you can have things imprinted within your memory as well as within your emotions that are triggers, and that can be hindrance, okay? Remember last week, we talked about not, it wasn't last week, it was Monday. We talked about we're now in Aries season, so a lot of plans that you may have had, you may have to scrap certain plans, you may have to revise certain plans, right? We're in a new astrological zodiac year. We're now in the sign of Aries, so this is you being able to reconnect with your I amness, okay? So 3 represents your imagination and your memory. The question is, what memories are you replaying within your internal being, all right? And how are you using your creativity? The 6 is going to represent your willpower as well as your creative power to create things and your destructive power to destroy things. Both of those energies are needed because depending on what's going on, right, you will know that you have to create things at times and you got to destroy things at times, okay? And the 9 is going to be about completion. And it operates in all 3 planes. The mental plane, which is about taking responsibility for your thoughts, is going to operate on the physical plane, which is you're responsible for your own ambition, which means getting up and getting things done, as well as the spiritual plane or the soul plane, where what's the purpose to why you do what you do, okay? And last week, it was about revising. It was about you getting rid of things that was no longer working. And I got to say, that's like a constant thing when you're on this journey, getting rid of things that no longer work, okay? All right, so let's get into this. Let's see what we have here. So in the 3 position, I gotta tell, oh wow, look what popped up in the position of the 6, which is where your willpower is landing, right? The moon, perception. Kelly and I was just talking about perception tonight, just literally a few minutes ago. We were having a conversation about perception, right? So you got Vista in the 3 position, right? 3 represents your imagination or your I amness. 6 represents your willpower to be able to get things done, the power for you to create or destroy. And in the 9 placement, you have alliance, which is all about completion, okay? And this is a conjunction happening here, okay? So let's pull the clarification cards and see what we got going on here. The heart of the matter. Look at that. The heart of the matter. Queen of Cups, this is somebody that's emotionally, I want to say mature. You don't need to play emotional games anymore. You can speak your truth, okay? Or you can speak from the heart. And you got it here. How you manifesting things now from the heart, okay? You're manifesting things from the heart. And then you also got 4 of Cups, right? Contemplation here going on. And especially contemplation maybe even around money or what you need to do next, okay? What's the next thing that I need to do, all right? And something may this could be maybe even some type of an offer coming in, right? And it's really going to be about how you perceive this offer. Okay. This can be an offer of healing. This can be an offer of finances. This can be an offer, and I'm even hearing an offer of love. Does anybody on here drive a red car? Anybody know anybody that's linked to a red car, a red vehicle, starting with license plate CNZ? CNZ, license plate starting CNZ, and I'm seeing a red vehicle. Okay, so if this is for playback and anyone is registering with that, a red car, license plate that may have the letter C and Z in it, all right? There's something about your kidneys or something about the kidneys. You may know someone, if this is not your car, all right, who, it's linked to something about the kidneys and they need to drink more water and detox. Okay. And I'm seeing, like, I'm hearing lemon juice, greens, and spirulina along with water. Okay. So if this is for you in playback, all right. But I see a red car, license plate may have a C and Z. Okay. All right. So, all right. I'm sorry. I had to get that out because that was coming through. All right. So let's get into this and see what we got going on here. We do have the Empress showing up here, clarifying the Four of Cups energy. So I just want you guys to know, when the Empress is in reverse, that means that things are either delayed. You can find that things are delayed, or you can find that things are not working. There's no growth in the situation. Okay. There's no growth in the situation, and the situation may not necessarily be working for you anymore. Okay. And it's interesting, right? Because Vesta is really asking you to reevaluate things from the space of your heart. Like, reevaluate what makes you happy, what brings you joy. Reevaluate things from the heart space. Okay. And remember, this energy is clarified by the Queen of Cups. And Queen of Cups is someone that's very emotionally mature. This is someone that's soft. This is someone that's gentle. You can even say this is someone that could be coming in a motherly way or a big sister type way, right? But this is someone that don't feel the need to be explosive in their response or explosive in their emotions, okay? So it's asking you, before you make any decisions, okay? And especially when you're using your imagination as to what you want to be created in this situation, of how you want this to be solved. All right. Now, let's just clarify and ask, what matters of the heart? Clarify this Queen of Cups energy. What is the matters of the heart? Because we know you need to change your perception. Okay, so it's clarified by the Ten of Swords. So this could be something that definitely hurt. Whatever this is like the death of a relationship, the death of a friendship. And I'm hearing for some people, this could also be like the death of a job, right? The death of a career. And you may think it's the death of a career because it's asking you to change your perception. Because real talk, your heart may not have even been, right, in that job, that situation. There was still something that you may have been missing, right? And remember, when we're dealing with the moon energy, we're dealing with protective energy, as well as emotional energy. So you can have being emotionally protective here, right? Especially if you're in contemplation with this Four of Cups energy, right? This could be your money fluctuating. This could be not feeling like, whatever it is you're doing is not bringing you joy. It's not fulfilling. It's not yielding you what you feel. And I hear temper tantrums. Some of you could be dealing with either people that's throwing temper tantrums or having temper tantrums, or you could be the one with the temper tantrums. Okay? So you got to reevaluate things from the heart space, right? Because you have here, and I don't know, some people could have been in a situation where they've been emotionally mature and did not overreact in a situation, but you definitely feel betrayed. You definitely feel betrayed. You definitely feel like that was, a knife in your back. Clarify this Ten of Swords energy. Yep. Five of Swords is in reverse. This is meaning that there's either some type of either you're focusing on what needs to be in focus at this moment, which is really you and your heart. So the Five of Swords in reverse is this change is happening. You can be focusing on yourself, or this could be you just avoiding the conflict, not or avoiding the conversation, avoiding having words with this person. And there's something here about even text messages also. I don't know why I feel like there could be a text exchange, an email exchange, some type of electronical exchange. Okay. Okay. You have alliance here, right? So when we're dealing with the conjunction, we're dealing with something that's coming together, right? Something that can benefit you, okay? So in this conjunction, however, you got the Eight of Pentacles where you feel like you don't want to put in no more work in this situation, like you're done. You got the Three of Cups saying that there could have been some type of third-party situation going on here, right? And you guys know about the third-party situation. It doesn't necessarily mean like if this is related to love, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's another person. This could be work that came in between you, right? This could be somebody's ego that is coming in between you. This could be somebody's emotions that's coming in between you, okay? The Page of Cups is saying pay attention to the synchronicity messages, and there could have been maybe even some red flags that you did not pay attention to in the beginning, right? Yep. You got the Four of Swords here. You got energy where people are in deep contemplation, right? You have people are just in deep contemplation, either about what am I going to do next, right? Who am I now? What do I really want now? And if you're feeling what do I really want now, you're also feeling like some type of energy. It's either going to be on the lower vibrational end of this Aries energy where you want to explode. There's going to be a lot of argumentative energy, right? You're going to be popping off of the mouth because you're going to be easily triggered, right? Aries is also the planet or the sign that deals in war, right? And there's a lot of that going on around the world now. So the vibration is already out, right? It's already out. So the energies right now are asking you to reflect from a heart space. Why does that make me feel the way I do? Right? And it makes you feel the way you do because you may have felt like you got the short end of the stick, or you could have been stabbed in the back. Now, for some people, this is childhood stuff. This is not even stuff that has to do with anything outside of you. This is stuff that you see coming up from your childhood, right? For some of you. Some people are definitely displaying, and let me just say this, a lot of people in this energy are not mentally balanced, okay? A lot of people in this energy are not mentally balanced, especially if you're stuck watching a lot of lower vibrational content, okay? Whether it's the news, whether it's movies, whether you're listening to music, right? You got to protect not just your head space, but you got to protect your ear space, your heart space, okay? Now, I have a way now that I am going to be dealing with things, and I think I might do a video on that. I don't know yet, right? But I've been thinking about this for a while. But you have to create spaces, right? Kelly calls hers file cabinets, right? But you can create a space to put energy and to compartmentalize things so you can then begin to transmute that energy. Stress is not meant for you to manage. You're not supposed to be managing stress. You're supposed to be transmuting stress. And the way that you begin to transmute stress, right? Feeling the childhood stuff, see? You have to. You have to, no matter goddess. You have to, right? That's the heart space. So Vesta comes in and it says the energy is asking you, what is it in your life at this point that you know you need to change and you need to work on? What is it do you really feel deep in your heart that you want to do right now? What is it deep in your heart do you really feel about this situation right now? Right? Okay, this is what number three is saying, and we know three is manifestation. So we know whatever you put your imagination to, your I am generation, your I amness is generating things, right? So whatever you put that towards from the heart space, whether it's a heart space of regret, whether it's a heart space of loss, whether it's a heart space of lack, whether it's a heart space of failure, whatever, right? It's asking you to change your perception. And in the place, this is in the placement of you being able to use your willpower, right? Change your perception in things, right? Nothing really happens to you unless you allow it to. It happens for you to either learn the lesson, right? For you to either get your blessing. And I think what people don't understand, the way that this walk, your walk happens is you got to intern before you can get your turn. You got to intern before you get your turn. You can take that however you want to, whether that means planting your seeds and showing up in different ways before, you step into, leadership, whether this is you going internally and doing the work before the world actually begins to see, right? Okay, whatever that is, and no matter, God has talked about the childhood stuff and been working on the inner childhood, and yeah, and let me just tell you guys something. You can go back and you can, how this works, and I don't know, let me teach you guys something of how this works. Okay, when you're going through a healing process, what will begin to happen is spirit will then take you back to places and moments in your past that maybe something traumatic happens, or maybe something that somebody said hurt your feelings, or maybe spirit is taking you back to something that you did. So if you're having reflections of your past, very specific things, taking you back to very specific things and taking you back to very specific areas, that heart space, right? These are things that would have anchored or imprinted something in you, right? It's asked you to go back and take a look at it, and how are you going to perceive that now? Do you need to speak to that inner girl or that inner boy, right? Do you need to do that? Right? You're having a conjunction moment where you can make an alliance with yourself, or maybe make an alliance with whatever relationship externally that you need to. And that alliance can simply be, we can agree to disagree. That's it. We can agree to disagree. We're in the energy right now where you're beginning to solidify how you want your next year within the zodiac calendar wheel to go. And what that means is, if it doesn't work, you try it and it doesn't work, it's okay for you to revise. It's okay for you to stand in your truth in this energy, especially if you're coming from a heart space. You see, what's not okay is for you to be angry and mad, and frustrated and lower vibrational, and think that it's okay and that gives you the right to treat other people like shit. That is not okay. That is not okay. And if you always have to respond to something in a defensive mechanism or a defensive way, that also is an indication that you may have some healing to do on that particular area. Okay, we all have to do it. We all have to do it. One of my things that I would feel defensive about is religion, because I really feel like they don't teach the truth. Some religions don't teach you the truth about your gifts. They don't teach you the truth about exactly a lot of the spiritual things that are available to you. Instead of teaching you the truth, they teach you to fear these aspects of things that are available to you, as well as fearing yourself, right? So that was a trigger for me. So anybody that talked about that, I would get easily triggered. Don't talk about Jesus now, because I'm going to get triggered, right? And then when I began to research all of this stuff, Jesus is just one mechanism, right? Or one way that you may be able to use this from the Catholic standpoint of view. But when you go over to the occult metaphysical point of view, you begin to understand that there's different deities that, and I believe it's Oshun. that would be considered in Ubera. I don't even know if I pronounced that properly, you know. But you begin to see how this is all connected. So you really, at the same time, I had to learn that I can't really beat up religion. I can't, because the truth is still wrapped up in that. You know, this is why you study to show yourself approved, and especially when it comes to this energy. Okay. All right. So you guys know that some people in a position where you feel like things are just not growing, and especially maybe even financially. Okay. And if you're in a relationship, this could be not producing. Someone may not be producing, and I even feel like someone could have lied to someone about money. Okay. Someone is in contemplation, and someone is definitely feeling like something may have come in between them, and they're not sure they want to put in the work anymore. For some people, this is career. This doesn't necessarily have to be relationship, okay? It doesn't necessarily have to be relationship. Let's see what we got going on here. The Fool card. It's about taking the risk in this energy too. Aries is going to require you to take action. It's a fire sign, and not only is it a fire sign, it's a cardinal. It's cardinal energy, which means it can be a bit flexible. It doesn't. It's not fixed energy, so there's going to be some type of movement required. Okay, there's going to be movement required, and it's also a positive polarity, which means that it is masculine in nature, which means it's going to be logical. It's not going to be so emotional. So you need to understand that, right? And from a logical standpoint of view, within that Aries energy, if it feels like it needs to protect something, right? There could be a war. So if people are walking around feeling like they need to protect something, you can find a lot of this energy that you should be taking and using it towards your passions, using it towards your goals. You're using it towards arguments. You're using it towards that fuck fight energy because you keep getting pulled into that. Okay. Mars is not just about warriorship. Mars is also about passion and action. Okay. It's not just about burning shit up and and breaking shit down by fighting. It's not. Okay, it's about taking action and movement. There's going to be some type of movement required when you're dealing with a fire sign. Okay, that's action. It's asking you to take that leap of faith, because right here, this Fool card is in reverse. With the Fool card in reverse, sorry, yeah. With the Fool card in reverse, you really got to be mindful. And the Fool card is Uranus, okay? And there's a lot going on with Uranus right now. With the Fool card, you have to be mindful that this energy is like the great awakening, energy. Like this is where you just step out and you take a leap of faith. This is where you begin to trust. This is where you put away your naive thinking, okay? There's always going to be an energy exchange, right? So you can't give something and don't get something, even though you may not physically be able to give to get something. When you give, there's still an exchange. So nothing that you were seeing in the physical, right, does not always first appears on the invisible. Okay. Everything that you're seeing in the physical first appears from the invisible. And it's saying right now, you need to take a leap of faith, because you may, with everything that's going on here, especially here, where you feel like, although the situation may be fucked up and somebody may be avoiding having a conversation because of something that they've done or said, right? Or you may feel like you put somebody on timeout that you just don't have the heart space or the energy to deal with that right now. Right? This in reverse is saying that you're not taking that leap of faith forward. Some of you it's kind of like having a car parked in a driveway that's yours, paid in full, gassed up, and it's yours. Right? But you don't know how to drive the car because you haven't taken the time to hop into the car. So you don't know how to drive the car. Right? Or let's take it even one deeper. It's like getting frustrated because you get into a car and you can't figure out how to start the car because that new car no longer takes a key. It's a push starter. So instead of you taking the time to figure out how to start the key by either reading the manual or YouTubing at YouTube University, at this point, you're still trying to figure out where the key goes when there is no key point, but it's a push starter. This is a time for you to push start. It's a new energy that went in. You're no longer in the same old energy. You're not. So if you're thinking the same, you shouldn't be. If your plans still look the same, they shouldn't look the same. You should have new plans. We just wrapped up Pisces season. Pisces is known like as the zodiac of the dustpan, because by the time you get to Pisces season, which is 12th house energy, where you really learn that this shit is all about service or suffer. What do you serve? Let's think about this. Do you serve a bad attitude and a nasty attitude every day you leave your house? Do you serve peace when people is in your presence? Do you serve wholeness when people is in your presence? Is your vibration high when people is in your presence? Are you serving fuckery? Right? Because whatever you serve is going to produce whether you suffer or not. You cannot go through this life, guys, and I'm being honest with you. Then we're going to pull some ancestor cards. You can't go through life thinking that you don't need a community. But the interesting thing is sometimes you can outgrow your communities. Okay? Sometimes you just there to learn a thing and then move forward. I don't expect you guys to still be on the same thing that we've been talking about 3 years ago. If you're still in the same place that we've been talking about for the past 3 years, then you haven't grown much. I'm sorry. You're not going to come to this channel and not grow. I can't do the work for you, but you're not going to come to this channel and not grow. Okay, so you got the Medicine Guardian popping up from the Ancestor deck saying be open to the healing information that's coming in. Once again, Vesta from the heart. Like really go in. Really go in and deal with things from the heart. Why do I feel this way? This is all heart chakra energy. So you have the healing symbol here. This is also masculine and feminine energy. Kundalini energy rising. Okay, sacred geometry in the background. Spiral of life back there. You also have the Sun card popping up, asking you to enjoy your success and your happiness. Remember, once again, changing your perceptions and your emotions is going to be important. Okay. Changing your perception and your, yep. And then you have the Peacekeeper. Let go of the need to be right. Oh, I'm practicing this one. Oh, I am practice. Oh, I'm going to say, let me just say, I've mastered this one. I don't practice no more. I've mastered this one. Yeah, I've mastered this one. This is important. Let go of the need to be right. You should probably write that down and tape it on the wall somewhere. This is going to be so freeing. This right here. Let go of the need to be right is very freeing. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to get up into the cards about what energies that you need to pay attention to. You got the Emperor. Emperor's Taurus energy. I'm sorry, not Taurus energy. Aries energy. I'm sorry. Emperor's Aries energy. Okay. And here, for some people, the Emperor has no clothes. You got the Hangman. These are all major arcana. Okay. Some type of decision that may need to be made. Okay. Pressure. I don't think, the Hangman is Neptune also, just so you know. Five of Wands is in reverse. You got and the Two of Wands. Okay. So you're dealing with somebody that could be a Pisces. Okay, because the Hangman represents Neptune. You could be with someone, or this could be a situation where you're dealing with someone that's in Aries, right? But we are also in Aries energy, so this can also represent the Aries energy. Okay. So the Emperor is always going to ask you to take some type of action, right? There's some type of action required. This is going to ask you to put on your big boys or your big girl panties, right? Put the little girl to the room, put the little boy to the room, and the grown woman or grown man has to do what needs to be done. That's what Kelly would say, that's what I think. Put the little girl, little boy to the room, right? You got the Five of Wands showing up here in reverse. You also have the Two of Wands showing up in here in reverse, right? Five of Wands in reverse, that there's definitely some type of conflict going on here. And the Two of Wands, that the conflict is really about the future. Where does the future lie? What's going on with the future? Bottom of the deck is you could be dealing with someone that's not emotionally stable. For some people, literally not emotionally stable. For some people, this is representing someone that's emotionally immature, okay? Someone that pretends maybe that they got it all together, like they have a sense of direction here with the Chariot card, but they really don't, okay? I want to say, this person can even have a lot of people around them, right? And this person, I want to say, emotionally, don't forget shit. The Chariot card, just so you know, is Cancer's energy. This is about you being able to do things through mastering yourself, aka mastering your emotions. And being paired here with this Queen of Cups does not look like somebody is mastering their emotions. I feel like someone here could be very petty, okay? You don't want to get caught up in that tit for tat energy, okay? You don't want to get caught up in that tit for tat energy. That's not what you want to do, all right? So as you're moving throughout this week, your 369 says you're dealing with somebody that can be an Aries, or somebody that can be a Cancer, or somebody can be a Pisces. You could be dealing with a water sign or fire sign, or you could be interacting with the energy that's going on, okay? You could be within the energy that's going on, all right? So within that, because Pisces is doing a few things right now. Mercury's in Pisces, so we know that that's affecting communication, right? I think Pisces also is in. So how about this? Check out the astrology report, because I went through all of that. Pisces is still in Jupiter, and Pisces is at home right now in Neptune. So you got Pisces in Mercury, Pisces in Jupiter, and Pisces in Neptune, which is affecting a lot of things, okay? So what you guys need to do is definitely go check out the astrology portion. Okay, hold on one second. Hey, yeah, yes, I'll call you back. Okay, bye. All right, sorry, I need to make sure everything was okay on that front. So check out the astrology reading that I did on Monday. All right. So the astrology energy check-in is going to be on Mondays. All right. And then we'll get into the tarot on Wednesdays with the 369 poll to see how you need to navigate through the energy. I break everything down in that video of what's going on and how the energy is affecting you. Keeping in mind, not everybody is dealing with this energy well. Not everybody, is into astrology, right? So you are affected by all of these energies. So if you got Mercury in Pisces, and Pisces is all about illusions, right? Pisces is all about the Great Awakening, right? Pisces also, you can find depression, right? You can find people get very depressed, Pisces people can suffer from depression. So that Pisces energy can bring in depressive energy. So be mindful of things like that, okay? And because it's in Mercury, people may not necessarily be communicating from a place of truth, aka the heart space. People could be communicating more from a place of their ego, right? So check out that video, all right? Check out that video to see how that energy is moving and what you need to do. Now, I'm going to go ahead and do close this out with a spiritual reading for you guys. We're going to pull, where's my favorite deck? I feel like I'm missing a deck. Okay. So we're going to close this out with your spiritual message. Okay. We will close this out with your spiritual message. righty. Thank you, Nomadic Goddess. I appreciate you. Hey, Victor. How are you? Okay. All right. Let's close this out with your, let's close this out with your, let me get a deck of cards. We're going to close this out with a spiritual reading, and I am going to do the Rebel deck in this reading, and I'm going to do the Rebel deck because some of you really need just like some truth. Okay, so, all right, so we got a few decks here. Okay. All right, let's get the spiritual message for this week. What's the spiritual message for this week? What's the spiritual message for this week? We're going to do it from all positions, so we're going to be using the 4 elements, okay? Which is going to be air, water, fire, and earth, okay? If you are not an air sign, which is going to be Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius, you can apply this to the way you think, okay? This is a spiritual message for the way you think if you're not an air sign, all right? Okay, so for the way you're thinking, if you're not an air sign, it's saying transform your thoughts in this energy as you're moving throughout the week, okay? You can find that your thoughts or maybe even your communication could feel like things are accelerating. And I kind of feel like in your head shit, right? You can feel like a lot of chatter in your head, you want to use wisdom when you're communicating with the chatter in your head this week, okay? Use wisdom to know what's yours. Like, I need to use wisdom to know what's Kamoy shit and what's the other person's shit. So as to whether or not I need to have a conversation, okay? Because sometimes conversations are not needed because it's you that you need to go and sit with before you even think of a conversation, okay? So really watch your thoughts before responding to something in this energy, okay? You want to make sure you sit, you quiet yourself, and you really tell yourself the truth, right? We talked about it. Operating from this place of your heart chakra where you're telling yourself the truth is going to be important, right? Moon perception, emotions, like, right, your emotions are important. What is your perception, okay? What is your perception on things is going to be important in your emotions, all right? All right, so what's the message for my wonderful water energy? What's the message for water energy as we're moving through? What's the spiritual message for water energy? Water energy is going to be Scorpio. It's also going to be Pisces, and it's going to be Cancer. If you're not a Scorpio, a Pisces, or a Cancer, you are going to apply this message to your emotions, your feelings. And we already have the moon energy saying, watch your perceptions, okay? Watch your perceptions. You will be tempted, and I can see the temptation because Aries is in play. Okay, we are now in Aries season. This is transformation, 0 reset. Okay, this is where you get to reinvent yourself for the next zodiac calendar year. Okay, so some of you will be tempted to go back to a place of maybe viewing things from the old way. Like, we're in new timelines. You can't view things from the old way. All right. And you also have the North Node in Taurus, which means you can't make money the old way. So if you feel yourself being frustrated, trying to make money and trying to do something in, like you're not, you got to change something up. Okay. Temptation may come in. You need to know that you're supported by the universe. You need to know that you're supported by the universe. You may be tempted to reach back into the past and grab some shit. Okay, remember, you needed to take a leap of faith when we did the pull earlier. You need to take a leap of faith, okay? So with your emotions, you may be tempted to emotionally go backwards, but you need to trust the universe and change your perceptions and how you're moving in things emotionally, okay? And as you do that, you will be successful, okay? Your swords, your words, okay? You will be successful. All right, so let's talk about the wonderful fire sign. It's going to be Leo, Aries, as well as Sagittarius. If you're not a fire sign, you need to apply this to your action and your movement, okay? If you're not a fire sign, this is action and this is movement. Heart chakra is popping up again. It popped up in the beginning of the poll. All right, deal with the issues of your heart. Deal with the conflict and the deception, whether it's someone that's in your life, something that's in your life, or whether it's you dealing with you, okay? Deal with those emotions. It is not good for you to tell yourself lies in this season. Tell yourself the truth in this season, right? And sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth hurts. Sometimes the truth is not always pretty, okay? But you got to tell yourself the truth, okay? You have to tell yourself the truth. That's really where change is going to come in, okay? All right, last but not least, earth signs is going to be Taurus, Capricorn, and Virgo. If you're not a Taurus, a Capricorn, or Virgo, you're going to apply this message to the physical realm. The action that may needs to be taken is in fire, but the manifestation is going to be in earth, the physical realm, the house, the car, the bills, the kids, okay? All right, fulfillment of wishes, love begins, triumph, right? And that is all because you have created a solid foundation. Let me tell you something. You cannot get to fulfillment of wishes. Well, you can. Let me just say this. You can get to fulfillment of wishes of whatever energy you put out there. You can. You can get to fulfillment of wishes to whatever you put out there. Okay? Hey, Nisa love. Whatever you put out there, you can get fulfillment of wishes. So you put enough fuckery, you're going to get some fuckery. Hey. Love begins when you begin to love you. Loving you does not mean that you put ego first. Loving you means telling yourself the truth. I can procrastinate. That's me telling myself the truth. I can procrastinate, so I need to make a list of shit. I need to make a list of shit. Okay. All right, guys. Hold on 1 second. I need to go grab some water. My throat is getting a little dry. And then we're going to finish. Hold on. Oh, shit. I dropped all my cards. Hold on, y'all. Hold on. Okay. All right, gotta pick up my cards, y'all. I am sorry. They all fell on the floor. I got that up. Okay. All right. I'm sorry about that, guys. I was looking for my bottle of water in the fridge, but it's right there in the side. Okay. And I decided to use the bathroom. Let's see. Yeah, no, I have to admit some procrastination. And what I've learned is procrastination can sneak up on me by perfection, right? It has to be perfect. I can't do it unless it has this. I can't do this unless this. I need to have a plan, right? That's why I told y'all coming into Aries season, that plan that you thought you had. It's a new year in the in the zodiac calendar, so you're gonna have to change some plans, maybe even swap some plans. So physical things will work out on this physical realm based on your thoughts, then based on the emotions you put to the thoughts, and then based on the action that you take from those thoughts. Okay, and then that produces a physical manifestation. So I don't want to mispronounce your name. How does what work exactly? What exactly do you want to know? How does it work? So let me just explain because I know I have some new people in here. So let me explain to you how I do my readings. I do my readings based on the four elements. So you have uh, air, air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, which represents your thoughts if you're not an air sign, okay? Air energy represents your thinking, your spiritual and your mental thinking. So You interact with all 12 aspects of the zodiac wheel. So you're not just responsible for mastering your sun sign, aka the month that you were born. You have to master all 12 aspects, okay? Their archetypal energy that you interact with every month. Every month, the sun goes into a different. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much, nomadic goddess. Okay, every month the sun changes position, which means that collectively we are all interacting with a different type of zodiacal energy archetype. Okay, this month begins a new calendar year for the zodiac season, which is Aries, which means we are now in energy where you have to take action. There has to be some type of movement. This is your first house. This is your I am energy. Okay, so this is how you begin to develop who you want the world to see for the next 12 months. Okay, so you have an opportunity this month within this energy to knock through some things that has been blocking you, to release things that have been holding you, that can be emotionally, that can be mentally, that can be physically, that can be spiritually. Okay, because it's all encompassing, right? So wish fulfillment in this card, when we're talking about the physical manifestation in the earth realm, does not only mean good things. Wish fulfillment is going to be whatever you energetically put your energy towards, whether your thoughts are going to produce emotions or your emotions can produce thoughts, whether it's emotions which produces the thoughts or whatever, whichever one comes first, they're then going to produce actions. Okay, actions are then going to produce a physical outcome, hence the fulfillment of wishes. The question is, right, what the fuck have you been doing in your thinking and in your feeling to produce an action which then produce the wish fulfilled? That's the question, right? So we're in energy right now where you need to take responsibility for what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and then what you're doing, right? So that way, when your wish fulfillment comes in, you know it's based on you, not just mindlessly walking through your life, but it's based on some real shit. When we started the reading, it's saying to you, go into your heart and really think about like why you. So instead of saying, oh, they hurt my feelings, or oh, they made me mad, why they made you mad? That's where you need to go first. Why am I mad? Why the fuck am I mad? Why does that trigger me? A lot of people are walking around right now in the energy being triggered. You know you triggered, but you don't know why you triggered. And that is not healthy. Whoever controls you mentally and emotionally controls your actions, which then produces your wish fulfilled. Okay? You cannot. I talked about my love jar. I have a love jar that I now put people in. I'm not holding on to no more anger. Now you go in the love jar. Because the universe does not do blind justice. It balances things out. And the reason why you go in the love jar now is so I don't have to energetically keep you in my thoughts or in my feelings. So now you go in the love jar. I don't wish anything bad on you. I wish justice, I wish fairness, and I wish the best outcome for everyone in this situation. But you go in the love jar. That's where you go now, right? Because what I wish for you, I wish for myself. You know, and sometimes you wish just not to deal with people and their fuckery. So you put them in a love jar. Okay? Now, I want to do some Rebel deck. So if anyone has a question, yep, a love jar, Tabitha. That's what you send in. The universe don't do blind justice, so you can release people, right? You can release people. All right. So I'm going to pull 3 Rebel cards or Rebel deck cards. Okay, so if you have a question, okay, this is the deck I'm using. I love this deck because it's really close to my own personality and how I like to do my readings, right? If you have a question, get your question in your head as I shuffle. I'm going to pull 3 cards and you're going to take the answer. Hi, my love. How are you doing tonight? Hey, Aqua, how are you? How are you, my love? Hey. Hey, Angela Moon. If you have a question, go ahead, get your question together. Go ahead and get your question together. Take some deep breaths right now as I am shuffling these cards. Get your question together. I'm going to pull 3 cards from the Rebel deck, okay? Oh, welcome. Aqua, we meet on Mondays and Wednesdays. Mondays, I do an astrology reading, so make sure that you, not an astrology reading, I do an astrology breakdown of where the planets are and what they're doing and how they affect you as you're moving throughout the energy. And on Wednesdays, we do the 3-6-9 pull, right, of how to utilize the energy going into the next week, all right? And if you are part of the Patreon community, you get a separate 3-6-9 pull. We'll be going with the conflict and the resolution, okay? Okay, so get your questions. You want to go ahead and get your questions, okay? Take some deep breaths and ask your questions. And I am going to read 3 different cards from the Rebel deck, and you are going to choose the answer that resonates with you, okay? So get your questions, all right? Get your questions. Do not ask me your questions directly. So this is you asking yourself the questions, and then I'm going to pull the cards, all right? And whatever answer resonates to you based on the card, you can go ahead and do that. All right. Okay. Remember, I told you there's a lot going on with Pisces right now, and Pisces can bring depression, right? Pisces energy can bring a depression. So you want to make sure that if you have access to the outdoors right now, if you have access to where you can step out into the sun, you want to make sure that you're not isolating yourself. All right. And also what I want to say is you want to check on the strong friends. You want to check on your friends that you know are strong, that got it together or you think have it together. Okay. Some of your strong friends may not be doing really well in this energy right now. So you definitely want to check on the people that you think are strong, okay? The color that's popping up here is like a little teal color, which to me, I'm just going to use it in this deck as throat chakra energy, okay? With throat chakra energy, we know that that is ruled by Gemini, which is all about communication. Pisces is in Mercury, which is about communication, okay? So take this message and apply it to where you do need to place it. So if you have your questions, here we go. All right. The first card up is your answer to the question, depending on what you've asked, is don't fucking force it. Okay. Allow whatever it is you're trying, okay, to come to you. Don't force it. If you're trying to force something right now, it's saying don't do it. Allow that shit to come to you directly. Okay. All right. The next one is, and I don't know, we talked about procrastination and laziness. And look at this one, nomadic goddess, right? You're sleeping too damn much. Wake up, all right? You're missing some cool shit. This is where I feel isolation. I feel like someone could be, isolating themselves, okay? And I also feel like in this energy, you need to pay attention to what you're putting in your ears. Pay attention to what goes in your holes. These holes up here. I'm a Scorpio, so y'all know. It's just my mind. It's just, I'm sorry, y'all. That was like an eggplant thought for a quick second. Like when I said holes, I'm talking about the ears, okay? Pay attention to what goes into your ears, okay? Yeah, that's important, okay? If you're watching, you don't want, especially if you're feeling anxious, because I feel anxious energy here, okay? Do not fall asleep with anything lower vibrational in your ear. Don't fall asleep with the news on. Don't fall asleep with any, war type movies on. Don't fall asleep. Don't do that, okay? And the last one is get the fuck outside, move your ass. Your body is pissed at you. Right? And for some people, I hear yoga, maybe stretching, okay? Definitely outside is what I'm hearing. If you have access outside is what I'm hearing, all right? So that I can't make this shit up. So hopefully this resonates with somebody, okay? Whatever you're trying to force, okay, you don't have to do it. You don't have to do it, all right? If you're feeling anxious and anxiety and some depressive energy, you need to stop sleeping so much, right? And you need to get your ass outside, all right? You are missing some cool shit, all right? Okay, my love. So we went for a full hour tonight. I appreciate y'all so much. I do appreciate it. And I see we have some new people. And I don't see Kelly Kell in here tonight. Kelly Kell is visiting, so she's probably like, shit, I'm here. Girl, I am here. You do not need to see me on live. Just come on in the room and say hi. Okay, so she could probably she's not on here tonight. Kia, I miss you. I was just talking about you and Kalia today. I was just telling Kelly I had to check in with you and Kalia today and see what you guys got going on. All right, my loves. I appreciate each and every one of you. So tell me what y'all have going on in this energy. Have you guys been feeling any of the things that I've been talking about? I would love some feedback. Have you guys been feeling any of the things that I've been talking about? Have you guys been experiencing any of the thickness in the energy? Angela Boone, hugs and kisses to you too. Yoga is, yeah. Angela said, hell yes. Hell yes. Yeah. I was feeling anxious energy for a little while. I literally had to go outside and step my foot in the grass and kind of ground myself. And I'm in Atlanta, so the weather's warming up, so I have an opportunity to do that. So that's awesome and amazing. All right, y'all. If you came in towards the end, please go back to the beginning. I promise you, this video is full of details. If you have not, that's okay, Angela. Falling asleep while you meditate don't mean that there's something wrong with that. You could be traveling, you know. And especially if you're falling asleep while you meditate and you have maybe something playing in the background, some affirmations or something, you may be asleep, but your subconscious is not sleeping. Okay. So you may be sleeping, but your subconscious is not sleeping. That is the best way to reprogram yourself. So if you want to reprogram yourself to something new, to think something different, you can literally fall asleep with something repeating in your ears. Okay. Just keep playing the same thing over and over again in your ears while you go to sleep at night, and you will see a major shift. Okay. Now, change does not happen with you writing a New Year's resolution. That's not how change happens. Okay. Change happens when you decide to change, not by you doing anything, but it happens when you decide to change through observation. Observation and non-judgment. You observe. I don't know what's going on with my vocabulary tonight, but you observe without judgment and accept that, oh, I need to really change this. And what you start to see happening, the fact that you can actually acknowledge that that change is needed, the universe then begins to send things your way to help implement that change. Okay. Self-love is the best way to go it. You've been super tired and emotional. Yeah. Key, you got to stop by and see us. Kelly was saying that she would love to see you. Oh. Okay. So, okay, Kia. So I have been feeling super tired too. So let's talk about that. There's a lot going on. Oh, yep. Dreams. Very vivid dreams. Okay. So there's a lot going on. So you have, where's Scorpio right now? Scorpio don't really have a lot going on right now. I'm not even gonna lie. And you really have all of the planets on one side of the chart. So you have the planets over where Aquarius, Aries, and Pisces. Aquarius, Aries, and Pisces area. You have more of the charts going on over there. There's not a lot going on over in the Scorpio energy. I'm just on the other side of the chart. All of the stuff are like on one side of the chart. So let's see what we have going on here. So we got Mercury in conjunction with Neptune. And we talked about that conjunction earlier, where we talked about, this came out in the poll, right? The alliance, right? So Mercury is in alliance with Neptune right now. But guess what? Who's sitting in Mercury right now? Pisces is sitting in Mercury, right? And it's in conjunction with Neptune. Guess where Pisces is right now also? Pisces is home. Okay. So you got Pisces and Neptune, and you got Pisces and Mercury. And we just talked about Pisces can bring the depression, but Pisces can also bring in victimization and woe is me. And you haven't quite learned your spiritual maturity yet, right? You haven't quite learned the spiritual maturity yet. So there's a lot of communication going on between these two planets. But if you're not really seeing the truth right now in this energy, when the fog clears, you're gonna be stuck in some lower vibrational stuff that you really didn't deal with. So for example, if I don't deal with my procrastination, right, I would not be able to jump on and talk to you guys on the 14th like it was on my calendar. Kia will tell you guys it's been on the calendar for months. So if I didn't deal with my procrastination, I wouldn't be here. I was supposed to kick off the 100-day journey on Monday, but I needed help and I had to go out and I had to ask for help. I had to get somebody to help me. And when I sat down and had the meeting, they was like, okay, this is all good, but in order for us to get this done the way you want it to, it's going to take longer than you thought. Right? So although you have all your lessons mapped out, I got everything mapped out, y'all. Like I literally sat and worked. I did day 89. So I literally have from day one, because we was going to do this day one all the way to day 100. I had it. So I was ready to go. But what I wanted to do, I needed help. And I wasn't going to lie to myself anymore. There were certain things that I know is not my niche. I know that I'm not just doing that. It's not my thing. And I needed to ask for help. And I did. And when I asked for help, right? Remember that Pisces energy, because it can create miscommunication based on illusions, right? So the illusion would have been me jumping on and not coming back on live until the 100-day project was ready. So that would have been, I don't need to go on live no more because I'm not even gonna kick off the 100 days. So I'm just gonna wait until everything in the background is ready. There's always a reason, exactly, Angela, why you don't want to do something. There's always going to be a reason. So how did I resolve that, right? Because remember, I told you guys, the plan that you thought you had, you're going to find in this month of Aries, you're going to have to revise or maybe even throw that plan out. So I had to throw that plan out because I wasn't good anymore. And I had to revise how I was going to do it. So this is why we're now doing the astrology reports and we're now doing the 369. Like I need to be able to still move forward. So what I was trying to do, the universe was saying, that's not what everybody needs right now. So you're going to put that on pause. Okay, and you're not gonna procrastinate. You're gonna get your ass on here at least 2 days a week. Okay, minimum 2 days a week. Okay, and this is what you're gonna do, and this is how you're gonna use this energy, and this is how you're gonna use this information, and that's what we're gonna do. Okay, so if you thought you started one way, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's how it's gonna end. Okay. I she said, I hate hearing that. It's been a process and the process takes time. Don't rush. Okay. You're anxious and impatient. What sign are you, Nisa Love? What sign are you? Oh, Nisa. The way that you do that is show up for yourself every day at a particular time. So start doing that. So instead, your Pisces, oh, honey, oh. Now, honey, let me tell you something, right? So this is what I had to do. And I don't know, like I'm a Scorpio, so I got fixed energy, right? So I need to have some type of structure. But what I find works, especially when you have stuff like that to do, creative things like that to do, right? Show up every day, allot 1 hour. So it doesn't matter when the hour is, but allot yourself 1 hour every day to sit at that computer, at that tablet, and write something. And it doesn't matter if it's a sentence. Nisa, because when you first start doing it, it's not what you get on paper. It's showing up and being consistent. I have over 1,000 videos on this channel because I was showing up and being consistent. So I was able to take a 4-month break with no problem because all of the videos are timeless, right? So you show up for yourself and just be consistent. And what you're going to find happening as you show up for that hour every day for yourself, Nisa Love, is that instead of one sentence, it's going to turn into 5 paragraphs. And instead of 1 page, it's going to turn into 3 pages in an hour. And you're not worried about structure right now. Just worry about getting it on paper. You could always go back and get the help that you need. I just have to ask for help, right? So it's more about you getting it out, Show up. So your only requirement right now should be just be showing up. And when you show up, the universe is going to meet you. Okay, it's going to meet you, right? Because you're just you are literally just I want to say, how do you say, what's that word? You're a portal. So the information is there and it's just waiting for you to just sit down so it can come out. So don't put so much pressure on yourself. Just show up 1 hour. Give yourself 1 hour a day or 1 hour every other day. However you want to structure it, but just show up. Show up for that 1 hour. And I'm telling you, I am telling you, you are welcome, my love. You are welcome. Just show up. I promise you. That's all you got to do. Just show up. Okay. Angela said Gemini rising. You don't finish what you start, you lose interest. I'm a Gemini moon. I'm a Gemini moon, Angela. So I know how that works. If it's not making sense here, especially halfway through it, I don't even want to be bothered. And that's another way that procrastination shows up for me. If the process seems too hard or too time consuming, I may be more liable to put that to the side and move on to the next thing. Right? And you can't really get things done like that. You can't. So one of the things that I did, so now I'm going to give you some other tips, right? One of the things that I did when I was building the 100 days, what we're going to be doing for the 100 days was I took all I needed to do every day. I don't remember how much days it took me, but I was doing 5 a day. I needed to do um, five outlines a day and how we were going to navigate the energy. So I had to sit in meditation and get 5 things in meditation a day as to how we were going to move, right? So every day I sat down and I didn't force it. Sometimes it was at 8 in the morning, 6 in the morning. Sometimes it came at 11 at night, but I needed to just sit still enough to get 5 of them done, just 5 a day. And I would tell you by the time I got to 100, how fulfilling that was. So let's think about that. Let me tell you how long it took me, literally how long it took me to come up with that lesson. So I did 5 a day and I needed to get 100 of them done. It took me 20 days to complete that whole lesson. 20 days to complete the whole lesson, and all I did was 5. Just 5 a day. So it's not so much about you can't get it done. Just show up and understand that if you have taken a step towards whatever it is you want to accomplish, whether it's emotional, mental, physical, right? Whatever it is, if you just show up and do one thing consistently, that one thing motivates you to do something else consistently. Okay? So you can have the person that writes on their New Year's resolution that they're going to lose weight, and it's just something that they put on paper, versus the person that's sitting on the couch and saying that they want to lose weight, and they go ahead and they put up some pictures on the refrigerator of the bikinis, and they go in the bathroom and they got the number on the scale that they want, their goal on the scale. So they have things all over the house to remind them mentally, right, of where they're headed. What you will find eventually, that person will then begin the habits or the actions to fulfill that goal. But the person that started out with the New Year's revolution, but you don't have anything reminding you, that's going to be short-lived. That's going to be short-lived. Okay, you need to be able to mentally fortify and prepare yourself to then help your emotions to match your mental thoughts, right? Which is going to produce the actions which produce your wish fulfilled. And it doesn't only work with good things. This can also work with fuckery. It can also work with narcissist shit. It can work any way you flip it, it's going to work. You are using these 4 elements every day, whether you're an air sign, a water sign, a fire sign, an earth sign. You got to use all 4 elements to be able to operate. You got to think. So if you thinking, you're using air energy, right? You got to feel. If you feeling, you in water energy, right? You got to take action. If you taking action, you in fire energy, right? If you're seeing physical manifestation of what you've been doing, you're in earth energy. Money, earth energy. Cars, earth energy. House, earth energy. Okay, so you cannot undo the elements. They're all over. Oh, nomadic goddess says she have a summer body wardrobe. No, really. Nomadic god, I'm telling you. Okay, I am telling you. So what I have to do is I have to line up all my waters. So sometimes you get up and you may see, my kids may come out and they'll see 6 bottles of waters on the counter, 8 bottles of water on the counter. And I know that my goal that day is I got to drink all those waters. So I'm mentally preparing myself. I need more water intake. I need more water intake. Then I'm going to mentally prepare myself. I need more water intake. I need more water intake. Match my emotions. My emotions is going to lead to my actions. I line up all the waters. Every time I come in the kitchen, oh, okay, I got 4 more bottles. Oh, okay. Hey, I'm doing it today. I got 3 more bottles. And they get done. You know, it gets done. Yeah, it gets done. Now, the one thing I can say is my process is also different than a lot of people's process because I got to think things through before I do it. And that can turn into procrastination if you're not careful, right? So, yeah, not careful, it can turn into question. Let's see what else we got. Okay. Yep. Kia knows that. You got to set a scheduled time. Now, Kia got some Sagittarius and some Scorpio in her. So she got that fire energy that help her anyway. Kia got that fire energy that helps her anyway, right? So yeah, she don't sit too long in one place. That fire will get up in her and she'll be out. She'll get things done. That fire will have her moving. Okay, Angela said she is an Aquarius Moon, Capricorn Sun, and Gemini Rising. So Aquarius Moon, which means, okay, so you got Aquarius Moon, that's Uranus energy, right? There's a sense of, because Aquarius archetype is all about I know. So when you got an Aquarius Moon, you can tend to think you know everything, right? You can tend sometimes to be maybe even a little emotionally disconnected, you know. Now let me just say this, Angela. um that can be balanced based on where your Venus is, just depending on where you have in Venus, right? Because that Aquarius Moon can, you know, it can, you don't have a lot of, you can be kind of aloof, right? Afraid of commitment type energy, you know. But depending on what placement your Venus is, right, it can balance out that Aquarius energy in your moon. Okay. Now your moon is your emotions. Okay, just so you know. So your moon is your emotions. All right. Kia said she can't sit. Your moon says your emotions. So, and then, and I gotta say too, Angela, paired with that Capricorn sun, that's like triple it. Because y'all know Capricorns will throw the baby out with the bathwater. Capricorns will throw the baby out with the bathwater. I'm gonna throw all this shit out first, and then I'm gonna ask you the questions. So you know, I'm breaking up. Then I'm gonna ask questions. Oh, well, you should have said that. Okay, and Capricorns are gonna pull receipts. Okay, Capricorns are going to pull receipts. So with the Aquarius Moon, not only am I pulling the receipts under the Capricorn Sun, but my Aquarius Moon, which lets me know I know everything. Okay, yeah, I'm fitting to throw all this shit out. I don't even, okay, it's all gone. Okay, yeah, y'all keep receipts. I know, y'all keep receipts. Okay, oh, okay. So you see, Angela, you see, Sagittarius is, I would say this, Sagittariuses can be very loving and kind giving people. They can. You still may not necessarily, you know, it could take them still some time to commit, right? But I can see how that can be balanced, because Sagittariuses are definitely going to be blunt and straight to the point about what they want and what they need, right? So yeah, that can balance it out a little bit, but I don't, you may be quick with the mouth. So, you know, like that Sagittarius, maybe if your feelings are hurt, it may, you know, use that moon energy and then the sun energy to really get your point across. So we would have to see what else is balancing your chart out, Angela. Okay, so here we go. Uh, you have an interesting. What is going on with my words tonight? You have an interesting chart. Stellium and Virgo, huh? Angela. Okay, nomadic goddess said, okay. So Sagittarius Sun, Libra Moon. Oh my gosh. Okay. 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 Nomadic Goddess. So this is C. All right. Let me just tell you right now, Nomadic Goddess. Okay. Kim Warner. I'm gonna put Kim Warner's email in the description, Angela, and you can contact her. She does do chart readings. She does. I do readings, not the charts. I'll do your sun, your moon, your Mercury, and your Venus, but I will do it in the tarot cards and in numerology. So I'm not using your natal charts. I only need 4 positions out of your natal charts, but Kim Warner does, yeah, she does the whole natal chart rundown. Okay, so nomadic goddess, you have Sagittarius sun. That's that bluntness. So let me tell you something about them Sagittarius. My mom is a Sagittarius and my dad was a Sagittarius. So very blunt, quick to tell you how they feel. And once they tell you how they feel, they think you should be good. I got it off my chest, so we good, right? So Sagittarius can be blunt, okay? Blunt and then it's done, but they don't necessarily always understand. Sometimes it's not what you say, but how you say it, okay? So you have the bluntness and the sharpness from Sagittarius, but they're also very great philosophers, very insightful, full of wisdom. Okay. And then you have the Libra moon. The Libra moons, just so you know, and your moon represents your emotion in this case, Jasmine. The Libra moons can bring in the balance that you need, you know, with the Sagittarius. But Libras, if they feel is something that they don't want to deal with, or they don't necessarily feel like it's part of the, you know, their world, right? They can necessarily stick their head in the sand, or they can create narratives that are not really there. Okay. So Libras is all about balancing. Okay. So having that placement in your moon, especially when that energy is in mature Libra, it can help you balance that Sagittarius energy. Oh, okay. So now the Leo rising, because I got a Leo rising too, nomadic goddess, right? That's where we got to deal with our egos. Because although you know, right, the Leo energy, you got to deal with your ego. And they say the more you get older, just so you know, nomadic goddess, you become more of your rising, right? So Leos are confident. They love to shine. They can tend to love to be the center of attention also. But Leos would also help. Leo energy, you just feel good around them. Okay. You feel good around them. They can be the life of the party, but they can be very, I want to say, attention seekers. They can tend to be eternal teenagers, very immature, very narcissistic in their behavior, right? When immature, right? But the balancing thing about that Leo energy, Jasmine, it brings in confidence, it brings in discipline, okay? And it brings in self mastery, right? And then it also allows you to shine that energy on other people, okay? Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah. That Sag will let you know. And that Leo won't give a fuck. It'll just be like, and I'm shining now. My friend's chart is Scorpio 4 times, lots of Aries, and some Leo. Yeah, that fire. Oh Lord, I'm gonna try not to be a judgy Virgo. Looking over my glasses as people. Pisces Sun Virgo Moon. Girl. And Virgos, you guys can tend to just overanalyze everything. Like everything over in your you don't need to. You don't need to overanalyze anything. Now, just so you know, Nisa Love, right? And let me just tell you what Virgo represents, and maybe you can look at it from this aspect, which will be helpful. Virgo is responsible for your health and your well-being, right? So the reason why you're analyzing things is really to see how you need to place this in your life for your health and your well-being. So when you're so instead of being judgmental, you can just use it as applying what's needed in your life, right? And when we're saying health and well-being, we're really talking about your emotional health, your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health. We're talking about all areas of what's healthy, not just your body, right? But what's healthy. And that Virgo energy, you're supposed to be using that energy to kind of analyze through the bullshit, right? But people can get stuck in overanalyze, and this is why it's important to ask yourself these questions. Is this a Kamoy issue, or is this a such and such issue? Do I need to have a conversation with myself, or do I have a conversation with that person, right? Or why am I mad? Why did that trigger me? Why do I feel the way I feel, right? At the end of the day, everybody want to be loved and appreciated. Even the narcissists, even the people on the fuckery. You know, at the end of the day, people just really don't know sometimes why they are triggered. They know that they're triggered. I knew somebody when I started dating them, they told me they were a pathological liar, and I didn't believe them. And oh, baby, they were a pathological liar. And they knew they were a pathological liar, but they didn't know why they lied so much. But I discovered all of that shit is childhood shit. They were literally pathological liars because they had to be lying of a situation that was handled in childhood that they're still lying about, right? So they haven't dealt with that yet. They haven't dealt with that pain yet. They haven't dealt with that even they haven't dealt with the relationship with those people yet. Okay. So of course you're going to be a pathological liar because you still have to lie in your regular day-to-day life. Just your basic bottom line childhood shit. You're still lying about that shit. Okay. So you can't get past that, right? So did I believe him when he said he was a pathological liar? No, I didn't believe him. I did not believe him. But he told the truth, right? So when people tell you stuff like I'm surface, you gotta believe them, right? They may not know why they surface, or when or when somebody tells you I'm triggered when I'm called a bitch, right? You got why you triggered. You know you're triggered, but why? Go back and find out why. Whoever controls you mentally and emotionally controls you. That means you're an emotional and mental puppet. You're gonna do and behave and buy and react the way that they say you should based on when they push that trigger button. Okay? It's important for you to know that. It's important. Scorpios take time though. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep. That is absolutely true. And that's in Slovakia. That is exactly why I personally have to watch what's me taking my time versus what's me procrastinating. Because there's a difference. What's me taking my time versus what's me procrastinating. There's a difference. And that's just real talk. Because we can, Scorpios will disappear too. Like if we got some stuff going on and we haven't quite figured it out and we need to figure it out, we will disappear under a rock. And sometimes we don't know how long we've been gone. And don't expect us to explain to you something that we haven't fucking figured out. Because don't do that. That's why we disappear. Don't expect us to explain things to you that we haven't figured out. Your dad is a Scorpio, and every once in a while, a little bone will fall out the closet. We don't. So this is the thing. If you get info, it's because we want you to know. If you're getting information, it's because we want you to know. And I think what gets me is my Gemini moon. That makes me talk. I talk a lot with that Gemini moon. Yep. Mm-hmm. Oh my gosh. And I've been singing that song for a while now, Shavokia. I don't feel like explaining myself. I don't. Especially when it comes to the things that I am passionate about in my own personal walk spiritually, my own personal walk emotionally and mentally. I don't feel the need I need to explain my healing. I don't feel the need I need to explain my goals, my visions. The only time I need to explain those things is if I'm working, if you're working with me or you're working for me and I need something done. But I don't need to explain. I don't need to justify. I don't need to, that's why I told you guys when I came back, I cannot apologize to you guys for taking some time out to heal myself. I can't do that. I can't do that. Yeah, I cannot do that. I'm a work in progress. I asked myself the other day, guys, am I too, I don't want to use the word weak. Am I a pushover? Am I a pushover? Because I had a situation happen, or a couple of situations happened while I was on break that made me feel like I was a pushover. So this is why I say you take the time out to get to look at yourself. And I when I reevaluated the situation, I couldn't get mad at the people. What I realized was I needed to implement certain things so I didn't feel like a pushover. I needed to be upfront about this particular aspect before feeling like a pushover. So I needed to be clear about what my boundaries were. I needed to be clear about what I felt like I was bringing to the table. Whether it was my service or whether it was my energy or my time, I needed to be clear. Okay? I needed to be clear. Okay, my lovelies. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate all of you so much. So make sure y'all check out the astrology report. I do have some classes coming up. We are going to do the 100-day journey. But like I told you guys, I needed help. So I have someone that has signed up to help me. I'm super excited. So I will know more, as soon as we're up and running. I will know more, and you guys will know more. We are definitely doing the 100-day journey, but it's not going to be for Aries season. So we're going to be unpacking Aries season and getting ourselves prepared. Okay. You are so loved also. Okay. All right, y'all. If I'm not back here for the rest of the week, you guys will definitely see me next Monday for the astrology energy check-in, and next Wednesday for the astrology, what am I saying? For the tarot check-in, okay? I love and appreciate each one of you. If you're part of the Patreon community, your personal 369 reading is up. Okay, so we talk about what the issues are and what the problem resolution is in your version of this 369 reading. I love and appreciate you guys. I'm gonna see y'all later. If I don't see you guys for the rest of the week, we'll meet up on Mondays. Really? Oh, Angela, and you've been with me for like almost 3 years now. Yeah. You've been with me for almost 3 years now. I love and appreciate each and every one of you, okay? Do the playback of the astrology check and you'll get a lot of understanding of how to move through this energy. I posted that on Monday. I love you too, Nomadic Goddess. I'll see you guys on Monday. Bye, my loves.